Welcome to Burning Metal Shooting the Breeze episode 6. In this episode, I'm joined by Brendan Murphy of Black Shuck and Damaging Galway. How are things, man?
How are you getting on? Been
Not
a
too
while.
bad. Long time no see, man. It's been nearly 2 years since we were hanging out together at fucking Bloodstock. Like, who thought it'd be 2 years nearly before we saw each other again? Like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. What with all the plans that we had.
Yeah, we'll touch on Damage Inc. later, but Jesus, man, we put the whole thing on a bit of a hiatus, thinking we were going to have a really busy time, and Jesus, man, and if you had time back, would you have put it on hiatus? Like, yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
the $1 million question there, man.
Yeah. With everything else going on around it now. Oh, it's madness, but I'm bloody, I'd only, if I could get the chance, I'd be out doing it fucking tomorrow.
No cowshed or something, anything at all. An old galvanized shed, put a stage up on it and a generator, away we go.
Yeah. Grab the nearest 3 bands that we know, get in the van.
I don't think we'd have any bother finding 3 bands, man. I think we could have about fucking 300 bands if we put up a post online.
Yeah. Oh, it's just mad. It's been too long. Everybody's kind of. I haven't spoke to somebody who isn't dying for some kind of live music in a long time. So hopefully when we can get everything back up and running, we'll have some good shows, and some nice nights out.
And we won't have any problem getting bands done either.
No, I'd say.
Before in the past, when you were doing the booking side of things and you were going to bands, this one doesn't suit us, maybe the next one, definitely wouldn't be the case next time.
Yeah, we're playing in Dublin that day, but yeah, fuck it, we'll call up after.
Exactly. Put us on at 12 o'clock, we'll make it somehow. We're fucking an hour down the motorway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking myself and yourself, man. We go back a long way now. We go back all the way to the Negative Result infamous festival that shall not be named days,
Yes, that bloody hell, that's a long time ago. You're starting to make me feel old now.
7 years ago now, man.
What's it now?
7 years ago now.
7 years, fuck.
7 years already, man. Yeah, Jesus Christ, like.
Time fucking flies.
Yeah,
7 years.
You were a bright-eyed young little musician with all these big dreams. The
jaded cynic I am now.
We're moving forward a bit here, but we'll backtrack again. You got to play Bloodstock anyway, so you got there in the end, like.
Yeah, and I'm wondering when people are going to tell me to stop banging on about it.
You were there when you were an old man. I played Bloodstock, so I did. Shut up to fuck, will you? Yeah, we know, yeah.
Yeah, I have the photos to prove it. We know.
Yeah, as well, but we'll go back to Negative Result. Like, it was I don't know. I think that probably the name really suited the band because you didn't have any luck, really, did you?
Yeah, well. Yeah. It was. I mean, we were in it for the crack more than anything else. Remember, we'd started that off when we were very, very young. I think 15 altogether, and the band itself probably went through 4 iterations, I suppose you call it. Was it myself and Ian on drums, but different singers, different bassists, different rhythm guitarists, until we just we got to the end of all of that and just decided we'd kind of pare it down as much as we could and carry on under a different name. But sure, yeah, that's kind of how it goes with them things sometimes. Sometimes, like, I know I've seen it. There's a lot of other bands that I remember that were around back in the day like that I really wish I could see again. Some really good ones that were gone, and people give it up and that, but I keep going as long as I fucking can. Someone will have to stop me, but yeah, the name change was all we could do. just give it a kind of a clean break onto something else.
But you're always lucky that you always had a drummer and a bass player. Like a lot of bands kind of fall by the wayside because they just can't find a regular drummer or a bass player. Like,
oh Jesus, we had our bass player troubles for a while there. I think we played maybe 2 years all in all without an actual bassist. But now these were shitty little underground gigs. Not even, I wouldn't say we were even allowed to play pubs that time. But we did a few years without a bass player at all, and then we went through 3 or 4 in fairly quick succession, and then we ended up landing on, well, the obvious one, I suppose, the drummer's brother.
Yeah, it kind of worked out well for you, like in that regard. And the Cruton decided to call it a day, and he was available, so it suited everyone.
Yeah. And our little, we call him our little good luck charm, because after all the years, again, going back to Bloodstock, I know I'll shut up about it eventually, but not today. We played in a couple of the Metal to the Masses things before and never really got anywhere. And then our first one with him, after him playing the bloody thing already, straight through for his second time.
Yeah, it was I might get into trouble for saying this, but I'll kind of keep it as non-political correct as possible. The Metal to the Masses thing has changed a lot, though, over the years, though.
Yeah, I do remember there was a while where
it was kind of, if you brought the biggest crowd, or you'd kind of be guaranteed to get through. Like in the earlier days now, there were more that, but then the likes of yourselves and Organ Blender got into the final at their first attempt, once upon a time, unless you had a crowd with you, or you got a crowd vote, it was very difficult to get through. Like,
yeah, that's what we used to notice was, like, you may have an okay crowd there for a couple of the bands, but they used to scatter before other bands came on. They were there to see their friends' bands, and then they'd go out. But now the last couple of years, quite a few years now, from what I've seen since we started going back to it.
3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, massive, brilliant crowds, and crowds that want to be there and want to see the band. It's not and you just get a better show all around out of that. Even, I've said it to lads before, even if you don't get through, you'll get a damn good gig out of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's definitely worth doing.
Oh yeah, and hopefully now it'll come back next year. Well, I'd say it will. I'd say I think the Metal to the Masses will be back up and running here next year. I can't see why.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm only in my early 40s. I'm going off getting my first jab now this coming Thursday. So if they're down to my age, like, in a 6 months' time, there's no everything like that would definitely be getting organized again, because because when you've got the vaccines to that level, there shouldn't be a problem. Like, I know these new variants are an issue, but if everyone is, if the variant thing is kind of falling on people that aren't vaccinated or only got one, like, so I think if in a bit of time, I think we have to get back up and running again somehow,
Yeah, hopefully now no more than yourself, not to be too politically incorrect, but so I hope there's enough people that take their tinfoil hats off long enough to take the fucking thing.
To be honest with you, man, if you go into the statistics of people that are actually getting it, fucking nearly everyone is getting it, man. I think that little brigade is just a little group on Facebook that kind of agree with each other all the time, and I honestly think most of them are still on there every day saying, "Oh, I'm never getting a vaccine," and the fact you can't go to Spain on holidays. Shit. Oh, I hate vaccines. Yeah. I hate vaccines. Now book the trip of Spain. That's honestly what I think myself.
Yeah, and again, I mean, once you get the vaccine and you have your boosted Wi-Fi signal, what have you to complain about?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Everyone is fucking giving out about internet speeds in Ireland for years. This is fantastic. We're all 5G everywhere.
Killing two birds with one stone. I don't see what the problem is.
Exactly, you could be like that one that was on Facebook trying to stick fucking pins to herself that were all falling out. You could be some sort of a fucking superhero, radioactive man, Magneto fucking style. Moving metal with your mind. Like I can't see any downside to this.
Yeah, I mean, we've always wanted superheroes. Sure, let's have a crack at this. You have to break some eggs to make an omelet.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like. But anyways, negative result. Like I remember, I'd say you were probably back in those days. You were definitely the band that played most for me. Like he came nearly everywhere with me back in those days. Like we were all over the place: Dublin, Galway,
Yeah,
Limerick. Jesus, man, we had a bit of crack with it now. To be fair, like like the nights back and then, like the played the Roisin Dub upstairs, and it was fucking packed. And
oh yeah,
down the
they were.
Limerick the following night, and it was a fucking big crowd in there too. So you look at the positives. There was some good nights in there.
Yeah, yeah. Now I remember a few good ones in the Roisin. We were, no, I remember we were playing upstairs, and what's his name? The comedian David McSavage.
Yeah,
is that the guy? He was playing downstairs in the Roisin while we were playing upstairs, and I nearly had a falling out with one of the security guards because he kept coming up and closing the doors because we were being too loud.
Oh yeah.
So we took that as a fucking challenge. got everybody jumping and stamping. I'd say we were knocking plaster off the ceiling downstairs.
Jesus, they wouldn't be too fucking happy about that in there, man.
No. Well, I haven't played there in a while, so.
No. I think even before all this kind of happened, there wasn't really any metal gigs up there for a long, long time anyway.
They had the odd few. The lads in Feast put on a couple every couple of months. They'd be moving. Well, I suppose they had a lot more of the kind of the punk and hardcore and post rock and the like of that, more so than your metal.
Yeah,
but yeah, still gigs going on there.
Yeah, I think Feast had kind of wrapped it up even before all this. I hadn't heard of them in a long time. I think they kind of stopped, had they?
Very sporadic. I don't know. Have they officially stopped, or if they're just kind of no more than we were doing there for the last while. When you find a good band, a band that you want to bring out, you go do one. You wouldn't really be going looking for them so much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd say when this is over, they're probably going to take another run at it as well.
And of course, well, Hexenhaus are gone, to the best of my knowledge now. But you have the old Noise Collective that are in their place now, so they've got something booked already. They've announced a Bam Margera show, I think it is. Yeah, Bam Margera with So Long to the Seance, the band from Belfast, in support.
Say again?
The old Noise Collective, they've announced Bam Margera. He's doing some sort of a tour, and the lads from the north, So Long to the Seance, in support.
Yes, I remember he did have a band there for a while.
Yeah, that was CKY now. This is a different thing now. I don't know anything about it, to be honest.
CKY was his brother's band. His band was called...
brother, yeah.
Yeah, his band was called Fuckface Unstoppable.
Yes. It's not called that anyway, whatever it's called.
That's just not into it.
I think that's a weird one, him going back out on the road, because he's heavily been documented over the last couple of years having serious fucking problems with drinking and drugs, so.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say anything negative about the lads until they booked a gig, but if I was in their shoes, I don't know would I take that booking, because, I don't think I'd like to be facilitating someone that's could potentially fucking die on the fucking road,
Yeah, and even aside from that, I don't want to speak ill of the fellow, but I've heard it can be a handful.
Yeah,
I've heard. Who hasn't heard that Bam Margera can be a handful?
Yeah.
But
would he actually turn up, and would he be absent? Would he be sober? There's a lot of variables in that, man. That would be just kind of like. But hopefully, man, it could at least it's something announced for Galway, and it gives back people a bit of hope again that there's something big and something fairly big in the coming It's in the Roisin Dove anyway, so I assume it's downstairs. So
Probably, yeah. Something
it'll have to
that
be,
side would probably be downstairs.
it have to be. So look, at least it's something again. Like, and I know that when things come back up and running, they'll go for hell for leather again because they were just getting going before all this. Like,
Yeah. Just thinking if that was the first gig to play in Galway when everything opens up again. Bam Margera, first gig in Galway, and then he doesn't show up. Be typical.
It'd be a typical Galway thing, really, wouldn't it? Because there's been so many false dawns. And remember a few years ago, Hexenhouse and Dara from Invictus trying to get that big festival going in the fucking hotel around the Hare Square. What's it called? The Victoria. And then it ended up in fucking Sally's.
Yeah.
That would have been cool if it happened, like.
Yeah, it would have been. We get the odd good one. I mean, the the Walpurgis night when that was going, that was
good.
They were good shows. They were good cracking, good crowds, and loads of bands. I think that was was one of them the first place I saw 10 Ton Slug with Ronan on vocals, and class.
The rest is history, as I say.
Yeah. Jeez, I'll be looking forward to hearing them again when this all kicks off. I've a list in my head, and I don't know how many of them I'm going to get to. The 10 Ton Slug, obviously. Grey Stag, I want to see again.
Yeah.
This Place Hell. Smack Dylan across the head until it starts playing again. And geez, there was a few other. We fucking listen them off all day. There's no point.
I don't know what the story with This Place Hell is. I think they're still a thing, but I don't know if they're going to be playing live because the lot when Mick left, they kind of stopped playing. Then when he went off Dead Label, like.
Yeah, they had one new track in the bag. What in the name of God was that one called? Doesn't matter. Yeah. But yeah, they haven't done much since then. I think they played the one show since then. It was a Slipknot after party, I think it was. But
you're right. They did actually. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, I really, really hope they get out again. New stuff and more shows because the Savages EP 100 times I've listened to it. Could be 100 times in a row. It's unbelievable.
And they were fucking class tonight. We got them down to Galway as well too.
Yeah, that was fucking something.
Because everyone was always saying to me, This Place Hell or Class or the Devil Wants Her Swagger back as they were known before that. And I've seen them, but I appreciated them, but I was just like, why does everyone rate this band so highly? And then when we brought them down to Galway and I seen them live, I was like, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense.
Yeah. I just standing there grinning like a moron watching it. Oh, it was unreal. I'm going to have to get them around again. Do you hear me, Dylan?
Definitely one of the best ones. I'd say, to be honest with you, when you look back at what we done, I'd say there was loads of great nights, but in particular, This Place Hell and Donham Day, man, they were two fucking amazing shows.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. They came out of nowhere like a brick to the fucking face.
Jesus, man, they were fucking everywhere. Your man he was all over the venue, like he was fucking. Oh, it was a great night as well.
Yeah.
It's a shame, of course, what happened to them with the bass player passing away, but the two lads are in Survivalists now.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to check them out properly yet, but
they're good.
I'm expecting good things. Yeah,
they're good.
Let's give them a listen later on.
Anyways, sure, we'll knock on a bit of negative result for old time's sake, just to go back to the days when we were both so bright-eyed and full of fucking ideas and going to take over the world, and
my back didn't hurt.
Exactly, and I had the fucking infinite wisdom to put on a festival and call it after myself because I'm a fucking dickhead. Jesus Christ, man, what the fuck was I thinking?
Well, you fucking learned, didn't you?
The hard way. The hard way.
Yeah.
People still would think I'm a fucking dickhead 7 years later, like they haven't never even met me. They're like, oh, I hate that cunt. I don't care. I'm just joking about it more than anything. I'm so used to it at this point, but Ah, sure, a bit of welcome to hell for bring us
For
back
old
to the
time's
day.
sake.
And before we start, like, you know, I watched the video there a few days ago, just to break me back, and the old South Park poster on the wall, and another thing you won't see it, but there's a big fucking poster of Chris Benoit on the wall as well too. Like,
Yeah,
Jesus,
that was Dean's corner.
yeah, you good job you didn't release that since. Fucking hell. Mr. Crippler Crossface himself, huh? Fucking hell, we won't go any further or then we get in trouble. Anyways, welcome to hell. It's been a while, man.
Oh, it has. Haven't listened to that one in a while. Still one of the most. We still play it the odd time because it's a lot of fun to play. It's a lot of fun to play. It's tempo wise, it's a bit all over the place, but it's nice, fast, and kind of chunky, and it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna break that one out more often, I think.
Yeah, I think I know it's kind of a staple and negative result, but I don't know, man. I always kind of thought, why did you fucking drop that song? It's a fucking great song, like.
Yeah, a little bit of a rework needed for the 3-piece, but
yeah,
we do bring it out. Just pull out the lead bits a small bit. Yeah. Could take a fit in the day. It's one we all know backwards and forwards. So if we want to tweak little things that on the fly, we should go for it.
Exactly. Like, and at this point, it's been so many years since you played it like properly. At this point, that I don't think anyone would really notice anyway. Like, you know.
Yeah. So I still remember that was. Oh, was it? I was thinking 2000 and was hardly 2012. That's when we brought it. I think 2009. That can't be right.
No, not quite.
But yeah, 2012. We released that a couple of weeks before the EP, and then by the time we got to the launch, we had the front 2 or 3 rows inside, and Sally Long singing along to it. It's fucking brilliant. The only time anybody sang the song back to me. Been chasing the dragon for nearly 10 years.
Give me that moment again. That means you'll have to bring it back, man. At least people will know it when you come back.
Yeah. Get that out. Get it going again. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's fast and thrashy, and yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, it's weird there looking at the video there now, how young you all are, like Ian still has hair and all the rest, like, you know, it's fucking hell, like.
Yeah. That was a while ago.
It's 9 years ago now, man.
You're making me feel old.
There's the fucking ice cream van as usual. Like, every time I try to do this, there he comes, 8:30 on a... No, it's 10 to 9, actually. For fuck's sake, he's getting later than you. Well, I wouldn't mind if anyone actually went to the fucking thing, but nobody ever buys anything off him. But it just comes down here just to piss me off, I think, more than anything.
I wonder if he's selling ice cream.
Go out and get a few bits off him, like, you know. Go fucking pick me up, like, and I have an ice cream cone and that stuff in there, and that's where you're hiding, like, you know.
Yeah, the number 2 special.
Exactly. Well, anyways, sure. What about the whole Damage Inc. Galway thing? Like, before we go any further, like that idea was born in Sally Long's.
Yeah. I remember that sitting down. We were chatting away about just, you know, doing a bit. At that point, it was us versus them had kind of shut up shop, and Hexen House were still going, but they were focusing more on the doom and the sludge and the like of that. So I remember we were talking about like getting something a bit different, getting some of the younger bands up, and the faster, more traditional or modern metal or whatever you'd call it. It was good. Worked out. We had some good crack with that.
Like, we got the label down.
Yeah, that was
Words of Burn were down. Jesus, who else? Sectile. We brought Sectile down when they were getting really popular. We had Six Extinction. Hell, with Genova, man, they were class as well.
Yeah. It is rugby. Yeah, that was it. That was a good night. That was a good night as well.
Yeah,
will we see them around again?
I don't think so, man. I think they've had their day. I think they tried to make a comeback a few times, but they dropped a few instrumental tracks during the whole lockdown, but that's dried up again now since. So I don't know. I think Brian is kind of finished with the whole music thing. I don't think he has any interest in coming back, and I don't know. It'd be great if they could, but maybe I wouldn't rule it out completely. But they were like that kind of band that came in from nowhere, and everyone was like, "Fucking hell, who are these guys?" And they had like a really solid run for a bit of time, and then they're just gone as quick as they can. Like,
yeah, it's a shame though that does happen, but it's people's lives get in the way. It's great crack when you're doing it, but other things become priorities, and you have to kind of work around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd wonder, like, with this fucking whole lockdown thing, like, you'd wonder how many bands actually split up and we don't know about, because I've heard a few bands have called it a day, but there was been never anything on their social media or anything, but...
I'd say a lot of that is probably rumors getting out of hand, or fellas, getting kind of fed up with it. But I think once the opportunity to go again, we'll see a lot of people that may have claimed that they were splitting up say, fuck it, no, we want to go and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just the way it's going to be. When we have the opportunity again, people are going to be knocking down walls trying to get as far as a venue and a stage.
Exactly. It's like this whole Elissery, the whole All Ireland Metal project. Are you involved in that, actually?
No, actually, no. I unfortunately, I'm extremely busy myself at the moment. I couldn't afford to have another bloody thing on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it seems to be getting good traction.
Oh, it's fucking doing great stuff, man. Like, I'm kind of following it now, and I don't know. I think they're going to pull it off, man. Everyone was kind of at the start, like, really skeptical, like, will this actually happen? And but I fucking all the right people jumped on board. Like, you've got Tom and Alan from all the Zord lads are included in it in some regard. And you've got a bunch of other people there from Miranda, Carl King from Two Tales of Woe, like, which was a big pull, because if you had Carl King pushing it, a lot of the older guard were joining in as a result of Carl getting behind it. Like,
it
was all young lads that'd be like, this is another fucking Philfest or another fucking whatnot, another dream, like, but when you get a bit of elder statements like Carl pulling in the right, staying as a team leader and all the rest, like, kind of encouraging other people that would normally not touch it to jump on board,
Yeah. Carl himself has a lot of sway with people for stuff like that. He lends a certain legitimacy.
He's like kind of like the Godfather at this point, isn't he?
A little bit.
He has the big fucking intimidating look. Apparently he's I've never met Carl. Apparently he's a really nice guy, but he's he looks pretty fucking intimidating. If you met him in an alleyway, he'd be like, I'm going to just walk over here, like, best of luck in your day.
and he only a teddy bear.
Actually, that's usually the case, isn't it? But Thomas is involved, though, isn't he? Thomas is in the Elissery project, isn't he, doing bass?
He is. He's doing a bit with them. I can't remember who he's teamed up with, but yeah, he's stuck in with a few lads, and getting very, very interested to see how it's going to work out. I know there's a few lads in there that'd be the fan of the likes, say, Dave Fogarty and Roney stuff. I want to hear that when it comes out. That's going to be some cool stuff. I know all Dave's older bands, Iburn and what was it?
Thoughts of Rune.
That's the one. Yeah. How forget Thoughts of Rune, but no, their older stuff his stuff has always been fucking good. So I'm very interested to see with Ronnie on the vocals there. And
Tony Carberry dropped a sample of a track as well, man, and that sounded fucking whopper, to be honest. He just gave a snippet, but it sounded like this sounds fucking sweet, man. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, he's another one. He'd be very interested to see what he's coming out with.
Yeah, and young Thomas Hines as well from I still can't pronounce his fucking band name. It's Unexplored Forest anyway in Irish, like, but him and Dara from Horrenda have teamed up, and it's a depressive suicidal song, let's put it that way.
Right. So it's a good place to start, I suppose.
Exactly, you got a 15-year-old young lad coming into the scene. What am I going to introduce myself with outside my own stuff? I know, it's that depressive suicidal song, that'll just get everyone interested. We better get behind this kid or he'll kill himself,
Yeah, I suppose that's one way to do
it. Exactly, But I know Tom as well, actually, because we've been chatting away since I brought him on to the interview first. And he usually joins on Fortnite for a game on a Tuesday night when a few of us are on. And he's a sound young lad. He's just, I don't know, these young lads now, they have a fucking dark sense of humor, man. But I suppose if you were that age again, when we were 15, we were looking at infinite possibilities. Now you're looking at housing crisis and no jobs and everything. If you're young now coming into the future, you gotta have a really dark sense of humor to survive it. I think anyway.
Yeah, it's your bloody shield. And I mean, even comparatively speaking, when we were that age, we would have had people our age going, Jesus Christ, what's wrong with them?
Yeah, it's a different fucking world now, man. But it's great to see that he's I think he's in 2 bands now since he started the whole solo project. So, if there's one young lad makes a breakthrough like he's doing, it's good encouragement for others to kind of step forward as well.
Yeah. Get more people into it. That's one thing that I'm hoping for at the end of all of this. When we get back on the road, when we get back playing gigs on the road is a very grand term for it. But I'm hoping to see new bands, young lads that have been trapped inside for the last year and a half and met up over Zoom or Skype or whatever and wrote a couple of tracks with friends of theirs and just say, fuck it, let's go.
Exactly.
Go play somewhere, do something. If they can all find a drummer, which is unfucking likely.
Yeah, I think now that the band he's formed now, they're a technical death metal band and they don't have a drummer. They're going to be doing samples, so.
I mean, you can get on all right with that for a while.
Yeah.
If nothing else, you get interest and get a drummer interested, get somebody who wants to play it. It's very hard to pull somebody into a band when they don't know what you're about, really.
Mm-hmm. I suppose with them being so young as well, like they obviously can't go traveling or playing gigs or anything. So even if they are learning without a drummer as such, they're still learning the basics of it. They're getting the bass and the guitar and the vocals and shit down. And then when they go to college, the drummers will probably turn up then.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it all works out. And I'm just hoping for more new stuff. New and different things.
Yeah, it's like a bit of a black shuck, we'll go on to the whole Bloodstock thing now. Jesus, man, that was a good weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was. It still kind of feels like it never really happened.
It didn't happen as far as I'm concerned. I didn't fucking see it. I was fucking hammered.
I have photos. It's not my fault you weren't there. I told you. Your phone was off.
I don't know. I don't think it was in the tent. I think I don't know. I started way too early, man, and you forget when you're in your 40s. You forget sometimes, and you're like, I can do what I used to be able to do 15 years ago, and I remember I was talking to the fucking lads in Zealot Cult who was at Parkway Drive. They were there, and I was chatting to them for a minute, just said hello to them. I seen them, and jeez, man, I was half an hour trying to find my way out of the fucking site. Like, that's how fucked up I was. Like, how do you get lost in Bloodstock? Like, I don't know how. I honestly, to this day, don't know how I managed it.
I'm nearly the opposite. I think on the second night, the lad from 10 Ton Slugs, they nearly wouldn't let me go. I was too mangled, and I still managed to find my way back. No idea how I managed to find my way back to my tent, but I woke up in my own tent the next morning, so victory, I call it.
You had a few good markers around where you were, though. I always find that when you're pitching a tent at a festival, you've got to find your markers. The toilet is there. That gazebo thing is there. There's a flag there, when you got the few little bits around you can't really go awful wrong, 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah. But getting from the parking, the RV parking down the little forest paths. I suppose there's only really one way to go, but I'm surprised I didn't wake up in a tree. It was an interesting night.
It was an interesting weekend. Like, I remember when the day you were playing, the fucking wind, man. Like, that bar we were drinking on the day before with the fish slaps to the face and shit, and went down there the next day.
their little roulette wheel.
Exactly.
Spin around, free shot or slap in the face with the fish, or do 10 push-ups, or
went down the
that was a good day. And we end up getting 3 free shots in a row. Were you there that day?
I was there. I didn't get involved though. I just said, "Oh, this is dangerous fucking territory," so I just stayed out of it. Yourself and Thomas definitely got involved anyway.
Yeah, I think it was myself and Thomas ended up getting two free doubles, and Ronan must ask Ronan. What did he get? He got some. Did he get smacked in the face with a fish? All I remember about that is I have a camera, I have a photo on my old phone camera of him wearing this dragon hat that's made out of fishing lures. Very strange. It was a very odd weekend.
Yeah.
Some fella made it himself, but you get all sorts there.
Went back the following day and the fucking thing had barred blowing away, like it was gone completely, like.
Oh yeah, that had completely gone, and then of course they shut down the Jägermeister stage in the same day.
And the main stage.
Oh, they didn't. Oh yeah, they pushed out the what would you call it? It was something to do with Parkway Drive's rigging. They had to put up extra supports so that they could hold their gear. But yeah, they have something like 4 tons worth of stuff hanging from the stage for their live show, so they wanted everything reinforced for the wind. I think. I'm not sure. That's what I heard going around at the time, but don't quote me.
You would have been backstage anyway.
Huh?
You would have been in the backstage area, so you would have heard more than the rest of us, like.
Yeah, little snippets and bits and pieces.
Like I remember I was over watching Lockhorns playing in the New Blood stage. And I was just, that stage I was fairly tanked because I started with Evil Scarecrow and the Wild Hearts early in the day, and I remember I was standing there. Next thing your man comes up on stage, due to what's going around the site, Bloodstock Festival will not be cancelled. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on here? Like, I had no idea. Like, I was fucking completely oblivious to what was going on by that point. But apparently there was a lot of talk that the whole thing was going to have to be cancelled halfway through Saturday because of the wind. Like,
I remember when we found out, like we didn't actually know about the Jägermeister stage being cancelled. We were essentially cancelled for about an hour, I think, before we heard anything about it at all. Just got a text on my phone from Oren telling me, just get to the press tent and get there now.
Run.
This is either really good news or really bad news. But no, they were merciful for us. Bumped us up a slot.
Just ever so slightly. You didn't even go to the New Blood stage. You went straight up to the fucking Fluffy Lancaster. Like, that's pretty good. Like,
yeah, that's failing upwards, I suppose. That was something it's surreal, very surreal experience to be brought in backstage and have people come over and take all your gear, bring it away, set it up, bringing you bottles of water and making sure that you're good and everything's right. Now you're on stage in 5 minutes. You just wait over here. All so well choreographed. All their behind the scenes stuff. Drum kit set up, slide one out, slide one in. Never seen anything like it. And then, of course, 2,500 people, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the capacity of the tent is. I think it's about
6,000.
6,000.
Yeah, 6,000 the capacity.
Right. Well, it wasn't full.
Fairly fucking packed, man.
There was a lot of people there, but it wasn't full anyway. But yeah, that was a bloody good show.
Your last one as well too. Well, obviously,
yeah.
The kicking and streaming thing for a bad reputation, but that was your last people gig.
The last with people, with the live studio audience.
Yeah, to like fucking about 4,000 people at fucking Bloodstock open air. Like, that's not too bad. Like,
no, can't complain. Well, now I'm going to bitch and moan that I haven't had a gig in nearly 2 years. Yeah, it's coming up in 2 years.
It'll be near 2 years. Yeah, it'll be over 2 years by the time everything comes back, I'd say.
Probably, yeah. It's been a long time since I've gone that long, but for that being the last gig I've played, can't complain. At least we went out in a good one.
Exactly. Sure, we'll knock on a bit of Black Shuck now for the crack. Just remind of everyone of that time you played at fucking the Sophie Lancaster stage. You can't remind me because I wasn't there, but you're fuck it. It's been a while since I heard that as well, I'd say.
It has been, I forgot about that little prolonged scream at the end. If you listen very closely, very, very closely, you can hear the thump of me hitting the ground in the studio. I actually fell over after that. It was like I think it was the last take of day 2 of vocals, and I felt like my eyes were going to pop out of my head.
You recorded that with Gavin Dawes, didn't you, in Symmetry Studios?
Yes. Good old Gav. Yeah. We're going to have to pay him a visit again sometime soon.
Yeah, he hasn't really much from Gav the last while, but I suppose with the lockdowns and stuff, he couldn't really do fuck all anyway. So, but
Yeah. He does a lot of his graphic design stuff. I think is mostly what he's at now. I do the odd bit here and there, but you know yourself, keep him busy.
Oh yeah, I'll be no doubt when the time comes, you'll probably go back to him again. And I've never asked it even off camera. Have you been writing anything at all during this lockdown, or have you been kind of just like seeing what happens?
Kind of. Recently we've kind of lit a fire under ourselves, and we've got a couple of new things coming, and we're trying to tighten up older stuff. You know, yourself when you hear something 1,000 times, little bits start to niggle and sound a little bit janky to you. So we're tightening up them, writing a few new things, trying to get our demo sorted so we can try and get something out this year.
Oh, very good.
But tis early days yet. But hopefully we can do it. We're doing a lot more DIY stuff. We're recording. I have a bit of a setup behind me here, and Thomas does as well. So if we can do our own guitar and bass tracks, vocal tracks, it takes a lot of the sting out of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can just kind of tip away as we're going, and then when we're finished, slap it all together, get someone to do a good mix and master job for us.
Yeah, very good. Like I think it's kind of gone either one way or the other with a lot of people during this. They've either been fucking really prolific or just haven't done anything. Have they really? You know, there hasn't really been any middle ground with it. Like people.
No. It's even myself now. I started off with such great intentions, and then the motivation just drained, completely drained, and just in the last couple of months now, I suppose, with a bit of good news on the horizon, I suppose, or what seems like good news at least, a bit more motivation, get something new, and you know, use the time that we have. There's no logic to my writer's block for the last year, but now that it's gone, use it much as I can.
And knowing your fucking luck, the cat will jump on the computer and fucking erase it all again.
Yeah. A 3-track EP finished. All the guitar work finished. I think I had most of the bass work finished, and then never let a cat into the room with recording equipment. They will delete everything.
You still have that cat, you know?
Yeah, he's in a trophy case. No. He didn't mean it, I was assured.
That cat was a dick, though. I was there one night when you were there, and he's just a fucking... That cat was just out for mayhem, like, you know? He just... Any bit of fucking... If you seen you at all, he was like, let's start a fight, like, you know?
He does like his mischief. It's his way of showing affection.
Yeah, but sure, look, it was just one of those freak fucking things, man, you know? Like, what's the odds of you recording a 3-track EP and a cat jumping on and deleting it, like, for fuck's sake?
And in a way, like, I deleted stuff by accident myself. I could always get it back. I'd like to know what he did, because it feels like he formatted the hard drive and got rid of it altogether. There was no sign of it anywhere. I went looking for days and days and days to try and get it back, but sure, it happens.
I like that old cartoon character, Evil the cat, like, you know, you literally had Evil the cat there, fucking ready to fucking pounce, like.
Yeah. But yeah, I've learned from my mistakes. I turn the computer off when I'm out of the room now. Most of the time.
Yeah, but sure, look, it's a funny story in hindsight, anyway, I suppose.
Yeah. I'm sure whatever I had recorded was shite anyways.
No, you played the Black Shuck there, and the team negative result in Black Shuck. Like, the fucking evolution is massive. Like, you know, you can tell that you've really stepped it up a few gears, you know, over the years. Like,
yeah, trial and error. Sure, you know, if you throw enough stuff at the wall, it'll eventually stick.
Exactly, you know, it's like Netflix summed up there anyway, you know.
Yeah. something for somebody, but I mean, sure, that's it. I'm kind of we're very much in the place that we're trying to come up with stuff that we like, like the what you call it, the Billy Madison joke. I drew the duck blue because I never saw a blue duck before, and I really wanted to see a blue duck. I wanted something that sounds like this, so I'm going to just fucking do it. And we see. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I'd say we've probably scrapped the guts of about 10 or 12 songs, like something that you'd well, now I'd say the guts of a song. It was shite. It's why we scrapped it, but happens. Come and go.
Exactly.
Keep writing new stuff,
and I suppose when you're at it this long now, you're kind of thinking, I'm just gonna release something that I want to release, because you might as well at this point. Like, you kind of had your big moment in the Sophie Lancaster stage of Bloodstock. I know you potentially could maybe happen again, but if it didn't happen again, at least you got that out of it anyway. So
exactly. That can't be taken away from us. We had that day, and again, I have the photos to prove it.
Exactly. You'll be kind of a bit like your man. What's your man's name? Oh, fuck it. The lad that played James Bond in that one film. Oh, God, I can't remember his name. You know the guy, he was just in Your Majesty's Secret Service. He was the one off James
George
Bond.
Lazenby.
Huh?
George Lazenby.
Oh, that, exactly. You'd be like George, like sitting there like, I was James Bond. Yeah, have another fucking vodka martini there, James Bond. Good man yourself. Like, of course you were James Bond. Everyone remembers you.
Yes, the spectacular On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely not the black sheep. It's an alright one though.
Yeah, it was a decent film. I haven't watched it in years, but it's just, it's kind of when you get to the point where you have that one moment sometimes, and but if you get the moment once, you've done more than most people. Like fucking amount of Irish bands that came and went over the years, and I can never say that they got to play a Pack Sophie tent at Bloodstock,
Yeah.
I got no respect, but even Dead Label can't say that, because Dead Label played at the Sophie tent, and there was a crowd. There was a few in it, all right, but it wasn't packed by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, now to be fair, we had the crowd there because they were waiting for Divine Heresy.
Oh, I know you had a huge slice of fucking luck,
Yeah, it was good. The fellas who stayed enjoyed it, and the majority of them stayed. But yeah, hopefully we can pull off something like that again. Exactly. Hopefully Simon will take pity on us again and bring us over.
And you might see the fucking two ack boys again.
Oh yeah. Jesus.
It was Mars Attack boys. That's all I remember from them anyway.
Mars Attack, yeah, running around the place screaming ack and chasing people with chairs.
They were consistent though. They kept it up all weekend.
Oh, they did. I every time you'd walk past that little cross in the camping ground where the paths cross over the corner, until 2 in the bloody morning.
Yeah, I remember I used to pass them on the way down in the morning for the old bit of coffee to bring myself up back to life, and there was no ack at that point. I was sneaking past them, an hour later when things are a bit better, ack.
Yeah. Well, what the fuck? I don't even remember how that started. I must get in contact with them and ask them.
Oh, that's just
give Daily shout.
That's just Bloodstock. Like, how the fuck did anything get started? And I know you weren't there the year the bin jousting was on. But Jesus Christ, man, like that.
They were doing it. I remember standing beside the security. Yeah, I was standing beside the security guard who was watching these people beating the shit out of each other with the wheelie bins, and he was just standing there going, "You people are fucking animals."
Back before that, man, they used to have the big huge 4-wheel bins.
They had one of them and a wheelie bin.
Yeah,
and it did not go well for whoever was in the wheelie.
But look, man, they had to stop that. I remember it. I've gone to Bloodstock every year for a long time now, and for the earlier years, they'd just be there pushing in and having a bit of a laugh, But I was there one year, and they were doing it on a slope, on a hill, and I was just like, this is not going to go good places. And apparently somebody got fucking seriously badly hurt the year before you played, and that was the end of that. No more bin jousting allowed.
Yeah. Still got up to it though. There's some. That was my first time there. First time at a big camping festival like that. I just never gotten around to it before. But take me back right now.
Oh, Bloodstock is the fucking best one of the whole lot, man. I've done them all over the years: Hellfest, Wacken, Donington, etc. And I just love Bloodstock. It's such a fucking cool festival. Like, it's so nice there.
Yeah. And everybody, like the amount of people that you just walk up to a random group and say hello, and then all of a sudden you're part of the group and you're off drinking with them for the day.
Yeah, it's just everyone is so happy there. Like, it's weird. Like, you go to a fucking metal festival and you'd be thinking, oh, everyone here is going to be miserable, and you're like, no, everyone is just delighted. As soon as they come into, they'll be wearing all black, and as soon as they walk into the gates of Bloodstock,
yeah, running around with their what was it? Were there lads that you knew that had the flag with the giant pair of testicles on it? Were they friends?
No, that wasn't me now, but
who were them lads? I remember sitting down there with a couple of other lads as well. A fellow with a little bottle of some kind of weird pearl-colored gin.
Oh, that was Chris brought us over there. That the fucking Marmite fucking vodka as well and shit. Yeah.
Oh, the Marmite vodka was rotten. What was your man calling it? The unicorn cum.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. I was like Marmite vodka. I think you done it and Thomas done it. I'm like, I'm having none of that. Like, no way. Fucking way.
No. Like, I'd rather lick the sole of my own shoe. Oh, that was whoever had that idea just needs to think about what they've done.
They were Scottish. We'll forgive them.
Yeah, in fairness.
You can't be Scottish and not come up with a fucking crazy idea with alcohol involved, you know? Where we've done pretty much everything else, like Marmite vodka it's the ultimate fucking thing we haven't done yet.
Okay, at least it was Marmite vodka and not Marmite Scotch.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Oh, my stomach is turning at the fucking thoughts of that. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking hell. Anyways, sure, look, next year. I think we'll leave it on that for now. Marmite Scotch, you know.
Marmite Scotch. Let's not give them ideas.
This is our gift to the world, you know. If you're going to mix anything, mix Scotch and Marmite and drink loads of it. And if you have any complaints, contact fucking Leo Varadkar or something and blame him. I don't care. We just gave the idea out, you know. We're claiming no responsibility for anything that happens after this. No, actually, blame the fucking Scots lads. We met at Bloodstock. We don't know their names, so you best luck trying to find them.
Yeah, if anybody comes near me with Marmite Scotch, I'll fucking find them.
Oh, fucking Irish man, Liam Neeson style. I will find you and I will fuck you up for this. All right, man. Sure. Look at it. Nice one for coming on. We'll chat to you there, man.
No, brother. We'll talk to you again soon, buddy.
All right, man. Cheers, man. Nice one.